Morning, team. How's it going, everyone? Oh, let's get that quiet. All right. I hope you guys are all doing well. As you can probably hear in my voice, not feeling too good today. I think I was started to come down with flu yesterday, and it's definitely hit me. So I'll try my best to make it to lunch with you today. But if the market just rotates and doesn't do much, I might take an easy day off. All right. Let's just see how we go. All right. Starting on the daily as always. Daily inside bar. All right. So we're opening up inside Monday. All right. We actually closed the weekly gap. Is Friday's cash gap. We closed it overnight, came back down to it. We'll see if we do that in New York or not. And we'll go from there. But yes, we are expecting chop today, just from a technical standpoint. All right. Trading inside. When you line that up with the fact that we're going to wait for the Trump announcement tonight at 8 o'clock. Some of you might have seen his very extreme tweets this morning. Not very welcome by the rest of the world, I wouldn't have thought. And we'll see if he actually has any intention to do these pretty drastic measures that he's talked about on his social media, or if it's going to be an extension again, or a complete turn around and say that we've got a deal done. So until we don't know, we're going to get some of this, I would say. All right, until we don't know. Possibly we get to see some risk off, unless there's some inside trading taking place, but we'll just follow the tape and see what we get. All right. On the hourlies, right, I will remove this. You can see this is overnight. I just wanted to see where the levels were overnight. We're currently trading underneath, and we can pretty much line it up. Overnight value lined up pretty well with current week value area low. All right, and we keep finding bids into previous week point of control zone. All right, so we keep holding this area as a bid. All right, and we keep failing to break above previous week value area high, really, and yesterday's highs. Right, so the rotation right now is just in here. You can see this choppy action in here, same as this. Right, while it decides what it wants to do. All right, if we start losing the bid under previous week point of control and rejecting this node, then I would say there's a reprice back down into 24,000, and if we lose that, we still have not filled this where we broke out from. All right, so if it's a big if, I don't know if they're going to go risk off before an announcement. I'd kind of expect them maybe to do some form of broadening pattern here like this. It really would not surprise me at all, but we'll see. But if we lose this, there's an argument for this trade down into these. All right, if they do the look below and fail, then it would be somewhat like what we've already done, to be honest, something like this. And you can see at the moment we keep rejecting previous day's value. So one thing to bear in mind, we are under previous day's value, which is right here, okay, which left POC here. We're under all of that. So we're searching for lower prices, but we're holding previous week. So we're stuck between previous day at the moment is deemed too premium. Previous week point of control at the moment is deemed fair value. If that's deemed too premium, then we can think about a rotation. Otherwise, very possible we keep building out in here, and don't lose your shirt today trying to be risk on or risk off in this area. All right, if the market doesn't want to move, it doesn't want to move. Do not be forcing your way in this market, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right, if we lose the bid, great. If we hold the bid, and they want to do some more damage upside, they're going to have to get over some of these levels. Remember these old point of controls that we hit yesterday, no longer naked, but that 420 with stops above at 540. It's still possible they might want to go up there. Really depends what the narrative is, what the insiders do, I would imagine, more than anything else. Overnight, you can see we've done not very much, right? This is your overnight profile. Right here, so this is your big node, basically 200s to 250s, right? That's your rotation at the moment, 200s to 250s. Over that, we got thin. We came and explored that 420 POC and came back down again. All right, and that's all we've done. So I'd say you would need to be careful this morning. A break and hold over 250s, and certainly over previous day's value. Maybe they get a lift for that rotation, because that could be a look below and fail, and that's possible, but that means you're trading midpoint of the range for the move back up. It's not really ideal. Really is not ideal. All right, I'm going to just delete this guy here so it cleans up a bit. All right, let's go through the ES. I should give you your gamma levels if you want them. All right, biggest gamma, negative gamma right now, 23,840s. right? And biggest positive gamma right now is that 420 still. All right, so that's your call wall, that's your put wall down here, and we're just sort of balanced probably at the midpoint between them. All right, so just completely in no man's land. It's really not calling me to do much this morning. Yes, you can see the same kind of story. All right, we're just rotating between the edges. All right, we keep getting stuck up here, come down to the bottom, test it, come back to the top, look above and fail, test it, come down to the bottom, back to the midpoint, and here's your high volume node. All right, so same kind of story, no man's land really in most of these as we start to build out liquidity, waiting to see what happens. I would say on ES, you'll be watching these levels sort of 6/6s, you lose that, possibly a rotation back down to test this low into, what was that, 560s, 540s. All right, you hold 6600, then maybe the rotation back up to 50s. A print and hold over 50s is where you get this squeeze up to this next zone. All right, so that's still possible. I would say unlikely today unless, you know, they leak something early, but we'll see. Spiders, very much the same. Down to a 5 here. You can see just trading inside yesterday. All right, so here's your yesterday's IB. All right, we've looked below, we've come back inside, we've rejected VWAP from this midpoint. We are just trading in this range right now. It's possible they let this go, but at the moment doesn't look too willing to let anything go. We're just stuck sideways, so it's same kind of levels until you find acceptance back over this neutral point. All right, and you build this out, and you will need to take out these pivots here. And it's hard to see too much upside right now, probably sideways chop. And if we let go of that, I'll have more of a bearish view for that rotation back down, because I think if anything, we're going to be risk off today rather than risk on. QQQ, I have to turn my aircon off for a second. Same kind of story. All right, we've just undercut right here. All right, there's the undercut coming into Thursday. So we've filled that gap now. Coming back in, do we reclaim the IB from yesterday? Come back to the midpoint. Do we reclaim the midpoint, go to the top side, or do we see downside pressure? Same kind of story, right? Just in sort of that chop zone. Ideally, we see that. It's going to be the easiest trade, but we will see. All right, VIX and MAGs. Still pinned at 25, folks. All right, nothing has changed here on the VIX. You can see it's the highest volume node for the options market. We are just pinned here, going nowhere fast, right? It's a huge, huge level. All the time we hold that, this print up here is possible, but we just haven't wanted to really move away from it for a week now. You can see we drifted lower, we came back above, we went above, we came to it. It's a huge level. It's like we're just magnetized to it at the moment, and we will continue to chop all the way. We're just magnetized to that. All right, Apple. Interesting. Okay. First time I've looked at this since yesterday. All right, big drive yesterday, gave the whole thing back. Here's your pivot. All right, big question mark over Apple there. Can they hold this pivot? You can see this was top side. Could be resistance, becomes support. But if they can't hold this pivot, all right, you need Apple to be holding over sort of 58s for that climb back up. If they start building out here and rejecting, you're going to see that flush back down, because that's going to be a look above a range and a failure. So they have to hold the top of the range now, otherwise we slide back into the range, and that would be dangerous for Apple. So if you're trading Apple, that's what I'd be looking at. They will need to reclaim this and hold for the squeeze, otherwise you're going to see a look above and fail. Amazon, same kind of story. Did it clear out all the stops? All right, same kind of story as Apple here. It's cleared out, it needs to hold the top side. If it can't, drift straight back into range. Goog, same kind of story, right? Needs to hold this here. If it can't hold 98s, we come back into range after like quite a big move, and this is extended from right the way down here. All right, so this is where I was thinking about buying. I was looking for a little undercut, but there we go. Wait to see if we can come back in now after tonight. Meta, still long in this, still looks good. Trading inside yesterday's range, same story. All right, yesterday's week, yesterday's range, just trading inside it. No edge there, building out in here, maybe in here, it will make its mind up. Slight gap down. Microsoft, exactly the same, inside of yesterday, inside of previous week. Chop fest while they decide. Nvidia, pulling back in a bit, but again, held the 70s like we talked about. on Thursday. All right, reclaimed 70s on Thursday and is doing a good job of holding the top side up here right now of 75 and over. So all the time it holds that, pretty good for Nvidia, pretty good. And Tesla, this has been an absolute dumpster fire on the way down. Once we broke out of this huge chop vest, this slug, into some key levels now, into the dailies, you can see coming right back in. Let me just check this. Yeah, right back into this pivot. Big level here on Tesla if they're going to hold these sort of 350s. Otherwise, we're back into tariff levels quicker than you'd imagine. So I think a lot will be on overall market sentiment for tonight and how we position risk given what's going on in the broader market. We did see like a broader recovery yesterday, more stocks moving back over their 50-day for the first time in a while. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to turn this aircon down. All right. So today, what am I looking for? Not a lot really at the moment. I'm going to watch this previous day's value area for under overs. All right. And really the weakness will come if we leave this box here. All right. If we start trading under here and rejecting it, that's where I think we see a clean up to the downside. All the time we're holding this, then I think we're just in a rotation between these two zones, which is what we've done the last few sessions. You can see and here and here. Into yesterday's range will be important. If you did buy this, look below and fail. If you're long in this right now, right, you need to see a recovery of current week value area low, VWAP, previous day value area low. How we respond in previous day value area low is going to be very, very critical. All right, if we're going to reclaim that, right, then you'd imagine we're coming back to test this area here. I'd imagine that we'd have some form of supply up here now because we've got quite a lot of confluence. Previous day point of control, previous week value high, previous day value area high, and we did sell off from there overnight, and that will probably be a 61 fib from overnight, I would imagine. So any lift up into there probably gets sold into at least on the first attempt. Yeah, there you go. Really good confluence. So a nice area to short will be up here if they even let it anywhere near that. And I'll be watching this kind of area here. So we'll see. We will see. Here is an interesting spot if we are going to sell the rotation. Sorry folks, my heart is pounding. I don't know what is wrong with me. Some form of viral infection. What is the under over? I'd say this grey box here, mate. I'd say this is your biggest sentiment. This is where we've just sort of gone look below and fail and reclaimed. Come back under that and stay heavy. Actually downside pressure, I would imagine. But we'll see. Like, it could be very, very sloppy action today. I mean, I can't find a way of anyone being risk on in this market unless they know something we don't, which they often do, right? So be aware of that. I would say overnight, about 8:15 this morning, 8:10 this morning, we had 170 lot seller at 174s. Want to be aware of that. And we had a 500 lot seller at 350. So there's a 500 lot seller up here. This is the area that I like for the short, a revisit of that big seller. I'm interested in a short up there. I really am. And ES opening up right in the middle of its range as well, right at that high volume node. Yeah, we lack edge at the moment. We'll see. We'll see, folks. Hopefully we can find a trade, but if we can't, no big deal. Being cash, like I just said to the group in Discord, being cash is a position. Either way, we'll do some giveaways on stream as always. So do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early. Let's get this up, share the stream with people. The more likes we get, the more giveaways we do. Simple as that. was that seller? Yeah, I really like that 350 spot if we can pump up there this morning, but doubt we get up there in a hurry, but we'll see. Okay, open coming up here, folks. 10 seconds. You got to be joking if you think I'm going to go over my comments again. You can just rewind, mate. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get up to 350s, which would be great. I'll be looking for a short up there if possible. It's a nice opening drive into value area low. And VWAP, I really want a little bit more of a lift, and I'll think about the short if we go for a straight pump up to the 350s. It's a good clear out again, though. Already failing big time off that first move. All right, let's see then. See if we can return back in and get a short here at all. It's exactly what I was looking for, but I wanted it a bit higher to come up to where those sellers were. We just talked about it. We'll see. But absolutely some sellers up there as expected. At 350 would be the mark. I really like it up there if possible. Open drive just got absolutely slammed. All the mag opening up down other than Goog, by the way. I think we'll probably see some downside pressure here start to develop. We'll see how high we can get first, if at all. If we start breaking underneath the grey box, then I'll start joining in. Do want to be short biased until we start showing that we've had some strength to reclaim levels. So if you got that, if you took that, was very, very good into current week point of control, 307. So I just wanted a bit more. We'll see if we break down now how we act in this high volume node down here. I want to find a way of getting in this if possible. Please don't just trade straight back down. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the IB high for the day, honestly, given the reaction. Into the 200s. Need a pop here. Do not want to chase it. Need a pop here. Do not want to chase it down here. This is the edge of the range, the grey box. Do not want to be chasing it. Are they willing to lift and sell? Watching that New York open, I guess, or 43s. We want to be very careful trading around here. The higher the better for the sell. Going back up to that New York open. Here's that New York open test. Watching this carefully. There's some sellers up at 65s right now. They've come back in down here. All right, put some on here with C versus New York open. Tight risk there. If they pop that, then we can probably trade up to the 65. So I'm not going to give it much room. Not an ideal entry. Oh, don't remove that. What number was that? 179. Sorry. 79. Nice. Can we see follow through here? Gosh. Need to see some follow through under the 200s, and then we should get a breakdown into the bottom of this sort of box. But need to start seeing them follow through now. They've faffed around a little bit down here. Come on. Big sellers coming in at 15s. Got to be very, very careful they don't get stuck. Need follow through under their price right now, under 15s. Otherwise, we're going to come test up that New York open. My entry right now is around 35s, by the way. I'm going to risk that open print. That, what was it, 44s, 10-point risk. See if we can get a big wash. Here come the sellers. Can they rotate? Can they get clear out the 200s from below? They're trying. They're desperately trying to get down into this. I'm going to be very careful. It's a very thick box down here, like we've talked about. It's huge, huge level from previous week. Definitely some sellers up there at my entry, which is good. Might even move my stop in here to not risk as much. If they're going to clean this out at 30, I'll probably take it off. So I've moved my stop in into the money a little bit. just because we've got a shelf there developing at sort of 32s. So if I can tighten it, I will. So I have. If they pop me, they pop me. It's all right. I can have another revisit it afterwards. There we go. Out of this. See if they lift it now. Got the sweats. It's horrible. Did you just run me to do it? You better not have. They're still adding liquidity a little bit higher at 15.55. ES looks good. Enki should break down now. See if we can get back in. Here we go. Join back in here. See if we can get a wash. Please, come on. I had 2 attempts at this now. Drop it. Drop it. You took me out basically to the tick. You took me out by a point or two and back in again. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on, sellers. You're here. Break the 2s and we're game time again. Oh, they do not want to let it go. That grey box. Aye. Yeah, the Alex trade. I know. It's the first thing in the morning. It's all right. I'm back in it. We need a 200 break here. They're stacked at 200, all these bids. So once we clear those out, we should wash back down to the previous week point of control, and then we can really get going. Here we go. Come on, get under 200. Lots of bids here. Just need to get these guys out of the way. They're stacked 200 to 180, and then under that, we've got room. Get out my way. Otherwise, we're going to rotate 50. Oh, my days. Seriously, folks. Back to New York Open. My stop's at New York Open. Not going to give it room above that. I'll just have another go after. Out of that. Yeah, they can't make their mind up. Oh, chop fest. Well, we had a go for continuation. Is what it is. They had the chance there. They really had the chance there. I'm surprised. It's not a good auction at the lows. I am surprised they haven't cleaned that 200 out, honestly. But there we go. So one small break even, one small loss for the day so far. We'll see what else we can get. This is choppy down here, though. No doubt about it. Risk off right now, just letting this do what it wants. Maybe they come back up here. Oh. ES looks much better than the Qs right now. That breakdown, much, much better. All right, well, they've held grey box again. So, I don't know, maybe some of you are accumulating the longs for this squeeze up to here. It's not what I'm looking for today. But at this point, if we're just going to go inside of previous day's value and chop, then it will be a leave alone day for me. That's my decision. The only thing I'd consider is the failure up here. If we go inside this and start to base, I'm not interested in the day at all. They are whipping this around on the tape. Unsurprising, because inside day and waiting for that 8 PM news, and no one knows what's going to be said. VIX holding its 25 print and is starting to base out here into 25.50s, which is a little bit dangerous. Looks like a range. I mean, it absolutely is a range. It's between the grey box and the red box. The extreme points of the range anyway. But this is point of control from the current week up there. We did reject it on the morning, which is why once I saw that, I was trying to be short side, short bias. Probably going to run out of bullets here soon. The sellers coming back in. I don't know where to have one more go here. Sellers keep selling these 220s and getting stuck, so I'm going to need to see clear out. back under that VWAP. We should be coming into these really if we're going to lose this grey box. So I'm trying to get the trade into the grey box and then run us down into here. That's what I'm trying to look for. So we'll see. Back into these 20s again. All right. Back into the bottom side of the range. This is where the sellers keep getting caught. So I'm going to need to see them accelerate here if I'm going to join. Watching these 200s. Had to knock me out twice to come and do it, didn't it? All right, watching 216s now. 216s needs to stay heavy really for this trade to be valid. They left an imbalance up to 230, just so you know. Buy stacking on the book here at 200 again. So any lift up to 16 to 30 that rejects, and we can get short on it. And we'll have to scalp some out unless we really start flushing under 200. So big buys here, like we just talked about. They're on the book here, stacking up. And we haven't had good excess yet, which is why I'm not convinced low of days in, but we'll see. Is the lift up to 16s to 30s. Still not in this yet, just watching this for me. I've had 2 attempts here already, as we know. And if they can't break down, that's often the best trade back up. So I want to see this break down soon, otherwise the squeeze will be on. Because if everyone's looking at the same trade and it's crowded, and this guy at 200 keeps absorbing the tape down there, then they'll get themselves stuck and we're in a small range and it won't be fun. Right, imbalance now filled. That's the move to 30s. Need to see a reaction here. If there's no reaction, there's no trade. Here we go. Much better. Now they need to break this big buy who came in. I'm in this now. There we go. Here's the flush. So can we now rotate all the way down to 70s? Come on, you got to let go of this. No reclaims, please. Don't be an asshole. Just absolute dumpster fire, please. Come on. Don't play games with my heart today. Not got the energy. There we go. Beautiful. All right, now come down to 70s. Come on. Oh my God, get out of the way, Mr. Bid. Please. Paid myself some there. Don't like seeing that. Looking for a move down to 70s at the moment is what I'm trying to get into this guy, or 80s, and then these lows here, and then if we see follow through, great. But watching into this grey box. Not going to be overly aggressive. But we have got a buyer caught at 205s right now. So all the time he stays caught, we're good. Come on. About all we're going to get today, I think. Come on. No, come on. You've got to leave this buyer stuck. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut it. Again. 3 early trades. You reclaim this. I'm gone. I'm glad I scalped something out there. Fuck me. Well, previous week point control, too sticky. They're defending it well. Too sticky. Still think we'll do it, but man. ES and SPY look really good. They've come right down into their key levels. Yeah, held. There you go. There's a squeeze. So sellers piled in under 200. As soon as we reclaim that big buyer at 05s, it became a problem. And we're now developing a very tight range for the day. Let's get some volume on here. There's really not much to do at this point. Right, that's your rotation. Very tight. Glad I scalped some out there. Do I think we trade 244s today? You're asking a lot at the moment. The fact that we rejected current week point of control of 300 says that they're not willing to trade higher right now. So, I mean, could it? Yes. Does it look like it at the moment? No. I think downside pressure is in the market at the moment, but we're in a range. So what I'm looking at right now, what I keep looking at, is this hourly chart here. This is our developing week. All right, we can't find acceptance over developing week value area high, which is also previous week value area high. Develop week point control this morning has now been deemed to premium, so we keep coming into previous week point of control, which is where I was trying to get a cover. And if we lose that, this trade here becomes available. So that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Just need to be careful if they keep holding this and reclaiming this level here. So that's why it's the dance. The best short was this drive here. I was looking for a little bit higher this morning for that short, for that first short. Yeah, 24.4s looks a bit high to me right now. Right back into this low side again. Are they going to come and clean out into 70s like we talked about? So much bid down here stacking up on the book. I'm very surprised they haven't just washed it all out, honestly. So we're all sell side under 200. Here we go. They're going to try now. There we go. Can we come and test previous weak point of control, which is basically what we're into now. And if we let go of that, we'll get Globex low. So if you're in this, you look good. I'd say 1 TP here, 1 TP into 50s. This is what we were trying to play for. I'm obviously not in it now. Had a few goes at it. Do I believe Trump will come out with a new deadline? I don't know, man. I've given up trying to predict what that man will do. I don't think you can predict what he will do. I'd say his post on social media this morning was an absolute disgrace to humanity. I don't care who you vote for. You cannot be talking about wiping civilizations off the face of the earth. That is absolute disgraceful. You cannot be doing that. You can vote red, doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care who you vote for. It's got nothing to do with the politics. It's just about being a good human at this point. No, his job is not to get a reaction, I'm afraid, mate. His job is to serve the American people. All right? That's his job. It's not to talk like that. It's not to set an example like that to young children and adults. It's got nothing to do with the politics. We're not talking about the politics. I'm talking about an extreme messaging. All right. If you saw that from the other side, all right, it would be deemed an extremist. If you saw, Iran posting, we're gonna their leaders and we're gonna wipe your civilization off the face of the earth or whatever he said, like, it wouldn't be deemed. You just can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. Here we go. So into previous weak point of control, and next stop is that Globex low. Here we go. So there's your previous week. Sorry, I'm looking at my NinjaTrader. It's slightly different. And then Globex low. And then if you get acceptance under this box, if we find acceptance under here, I think this trade becomes available. There we go. Well done, folks, those that got it. I had three bites at the cherry today. There you go. Globex low coming up, and then acceptance under there. You'll be looking for the previous week close, which is to close the gap into 130s or 129s. Finally doing it. Nice. Well, congrats those that got it. This is what we were looking for. Finally doing it. And it's just whether you have follow through now. All right, so you're right into the edge of this grey box. Like I talked about, you lose this grey box. Well, I'm always looking at the hourlies. It's why I'm looking for the higher time frame rotations. You lose this grey box from the previous week. All right, there's quite an obvious level that it'll want to try and come to, these swing stops here. And if you let go of the swing stops, it will be the true retest of this, which we didn't do last week. So that's what I'd be looking for today. But I'd be taking a good chunk of money out for you guys who are in this grey box into Globex. and you can watch where the sellers last came in. That's good excess at the low now. Big buyer came in at 65s, so you can watch that 65s, and I'd say the levels that sellers will want to defend is the 200 to 205 level. Where am I looking to go long? I'm not really looking to go long. Not when we're losing the tape the way we are. That's why I was focused on the short today. They're still rejecting previous week point of control here. It's a good rejection. You can still see downside follow through. There's still a buyer caught at 65s. You look good for downside follow through. As long as they break this low here, you have lots of sellers who came in 55s. As long as you stay heavy under 55s, you should see a new low and fill that gap into 30s. Right, that buyer's point. If they trigger up here, then they're going to come and test the 200 again. But the seller's still in control. They just need it under 55s. Here you go. You should get the breakdown here to fill this old gap to this white line, which is previous week close. Right, that's what you're looking for. That's Friday's close. And then under that, it's just runners then all the way down into here. But this is your main cover point is into this kind of zone you're at the moment. It's 55s and under, you'll get follow through. That's where they're dancing at. It's where the sellers keep piling in at the moment. You need follow through under that. You want to see sellers get their way soon, otherwise you'll see that retest of 200 come pretty quick. Breaking back up, so they're going to come test value area low for the session. Oh, where's this gone? I thought we already put it on. We definitely did put it on. Okay, in your opening range and value area low, both stacked around the sort of 189s, 190s, but I think the 200 test is probable here because we had a seller up there this morning and a buyer at 206. So sellers will want to defend that on the pullback in towards this shelf and then see follow through downside. But you should have paid yourself some good money for this move already. Nice rejection of value area low there so far. Right back to previous week point of control. Again, if sellers need follow through under 55s, that is where they've got stuck. I'd say even 60s, but 55s, big delta down there. They need follow through under that, otherwise they're going to get in trouble. Here's the test of 55s. They need follow through under this, the sellers. Lots of buyers down at 40s, so I think we should wash here. Like I said, I'd be looking for covers into 130s, 95-ish, and then what's the next level? 130s, 95s, and then 9, or basically call it 24k, but for runners. But they've got to stay heavy. They cannot break down under those 55s. So it's definitely the first time today we've seen sellers get stuck. It's those 55s. And here's the retest of 200s we just talked about. Big level now. Big level for sentiment. ES back into VWAP. Spider's trying to do the same. Trying to lift back into VWAP. QQQ. Not quite there yet. VIX now trying to base over 26s. all right, on this pullback, and it can hold 26s. It can start really motoring. Lots of liquidity above here. Sellers will want to defend 206 to 210. Through that, it's game over for sellers, honestly. So they really need to defend here, and they're not doing a very good job. If I'm looking at the book, they're just doing what they've done the last few days of stacking higher and not really defending levels well enough at the moment. So much bid here still. There you go. So much bid here. It's pretty surprising, to be honest. Well, that buyer, the only guy stuck right now is the buyer at 205 and then the seller's at 55. So that's your rotation, 50-point rotation, 205 to 55. That's the rotation right now. Still bid on the tape. Here come the sellers. They're trying. Here's the 80 test. Buyers at 180. They're just got slammed. All right, they should break down now. They can't keep absorbing this here. The sellers are going to get very, very caught after that last flush if they can't break down here. This shelf at value area low, this kind of box here, this is going to become very, very key now. Sellers need to get under this. All right, they've just sold very aggressively into it. It's a big, big trigger box that they need to get under. They get under that, it's go time for them. How big was this guy here flying in? 133. Here they go. All right, 55s, remember, they need it under 55s to be comfortable. Here they come. All right, back in. Through this box, can they extend now to that white line on your chart? All right, this is where they'd like to come to, this line, and then if they get lucky, all the way down here. This box key now. Beautiful. Come on, get through all these guys. So much bid here down to 140. They're stacked on the bid down to 140. We should come and clean it all out because they're just making it very, very obvious of where they want price to go right now. $225 lot at 140. I'm looking for him to get filled and then see if we trade under him. Here we come. Yes, 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 yes. Come, 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 come. He's at 140. Just a bit more, bit of front running into him. He's still a 225 lot at 140. Would be even more fun if he just pulls his bid. Here we go. There we go. There's his 140 filled. So just be careful here. Huge delta there now, obviously. 225 lot delta. We need to trade under 140 now as a seller to stay comfortable because we've got massive delta there to fill that passive buyer. So mark that out mentally in your head. 140 is a huge level now that they have to stay under to be comfortable. And that could be low of day because that auction was very good down there. I've still got a piece on here from that last breakdown. So let's see if I can get paid here today. After missing the first part of the move, need to see us trade back under 140. Don't want us to keep bouncing on it. Come on, come on. You got to get under it. You got to get under it. Nice. All right, there's the gap filled into the white line. That's your TP2 hit. And now it's just runners to see if you want to expand down into this. All right, this is where we'd like to go to today. Here we go. Beautiful. 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 Keep dumping. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Right, another big seller at 116 now, so it's another guy to mark off. You don't want a 140 reclaim. You want that seller to stay in the money, and you want a 116 dump here. You need to trade under this big seller at 116. Here we go. Lovely, lovely. So previous day open would be at 93s if we can get it. Looking really good here, folks. Beautiful. So I'd like to stay heavy at 16 to 22s. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Fantastic. Keep selling it. There's previous day open now tagged as well. We look really good at it. Took me 4 attempts, 4 bites at it today. Really nice into this gamma level here at 80s. And under that, we're looking for this trade down here. Oh, lovely. Move your stop into like well into the money now because they're being very aggressive. You don't want to get caught on a snapback. Lovely, 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 lovely. This is where they want to come to if they can. Like I said, once we lose that grey box in the hourly, it made sense. So shorts were the right move. We were the right side of it. They just chopped me around for 3 trades before we got the move. Here they come. Here they come. Remember, it's where they're trying to get to. Yes, almost there as well. It's looking for 590 on ES. If you break 590, you can look for that 5, 6, 7s, but 590 is a big level. Oh, yeah, I got the second part of the short, mate. I was trying to get in. I think I took a winner like on this drive here, and then I was trying to get in here for the breakdown and got wicked out. And then I rejoined this. All right, so I've got this. I just didn't get it from here to here, unfortunately. Looks like it could go 24,000. Yeah, like I said, this is the target. It's where it wants to go. But we're very thin, so you know it might want to come back and back test this before it lets go. You have to see. Big sellers keep getting stuck down there at 90s. So if they can't break these 90s, they're going to get caught. There's a little shelf being built out here. There's lots of liquidity lower, but I'm just talking about for your runners. If they can't get under 90s, I'd start to be concerned about, you know, starting to lock in more profits. Or, yeah, right, 80, 89, 75. Here you go. It's testing this guy. Hopefully you can just see follow through now. So just be very careful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's see if we can get all the way down now. So I'd want 90s to 100 to stay heavy. Lovely. Here we go. So there's liquidity here into 70s. Again, 90s to 100 has to stay heavy for me. And we'll see if we can get down into this. We need to reject this and come down into this now on the extension. And you can move your stops tighter. Like for me, can't come back above 97s really. Really good. More sellers piling in at these lows. So I want to be careful of this now. Big seller just came in at 73s. They're looking for 60s. Can see 60s and 35s on the book at the moment. Oil is going crazy. Well, it's like I said to you guys, like you guys try and make it about politics. It's not about politics. If you threaten to wipe off a civilization off the face of the earth, we're going to be risk off, right? Don't care who you vote for. I wouldn't care if fucking Biden said it. Or I wouldn't care if someone in England said it. If you threaten to wipe civilizations off earth, the market's going to go risk off. It's just how it is. Like, I don't care to comment on the politics. I'm talking about the statement and how it affects the macro point of view into tonight. Traders are now concerned about what happens tonight. Probably what happens is nothing, but we can't hedge on nothing, right? We can't hedge on nothing. Here we come. Lovely. 50s. There we go. Coming right into these levels now, folks. If we let go, I tell you what, if we let go of this white line, we can look for this grey box, because this was what was untested from last week, which I was originally looking for last week, if you remember, on that drift down. Okay, so here's the stops. And if we liquidate this, all right, we have room into this node here from the previous week. Okay, so if we're coming into this low volume node, if we liquidate these stops, you might get an extension move into here. It's possible. Here we go. Beautiful. This is coming right into the targets now. You better be covering 90% of your money right now, please. $24,000's coming up. Beautiful move. This is everything we wanted to see. ES has still got to play the catch up. It's not there yet. But you better be moving your stops a bit tighter here, please. All right, we're coming right into the key levels where we want to be locking in the majority of our money. Oh, really good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great trade. Great trade, folks. That's really nice. I only got it from here, from this breakdown, but still, what's that? 176 points. Some of you will be in it from here, would have got 200 odd points. So it's our first 200 pointer for a little while on stream. Still downside pressure on the tape. Still downside pressure. There you go. We're going to get it. Limits out. Limits out for this. Don't be a dick for a tick, but get your limits out for this. If we wash this hard, if you've got enough size left, you can hold some for this negative squeeze down into 880s, 860s. But we should hit this here. Don't be a dick for a tick. Come on, fill me, you mother clucker. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I want 80s, really. I want to be careful, this 24,000. All right, I'm out, done. Don't like that. It's pissing me off. It came that close and not filled me. It probably keeps puking now, but there we go. I don't think we'll catch a bid at 24,000. If we do, it would be just a short-term squeeze back up. We're in a big sell. I would doubt we protect that low. I just want to make sure that low is accurate. Doesn't look that accurate. Let's get a horizontal line in to make sure. That's the low. Oh yeah, it's that green line. Okay, that's fine. Really good. Look at VIX, ripping faces now. Held 25 through to 26, now through 27s. It's going 28s, and the big gamma is all the way up at 30s again. This is due a pullback, folks. So just be careful. If they don't take the liquidity, you might see a pullback before they come back for it. I don't think they will protect that low. If they really want to be nasty, they come all the way back up here. But I would say a pullback into here and then a resale is probably what we're going to see shortly. So many imbalances to fill now back up. So many. Auction at the low isn't too bad, but I would be surprised that we protect that low, if I'm honest. But we'll see. We'll see how far we pull back here and what happens. If there's another setup to take. It's a big swing from this. It's a big sell. I think there's more downside. It just depends how far they want to lift. Nice. Let's see. Let's see. Big seller came in at just under 24k. So that 24k mark is important. And remember, we got low hanging fruit underneath it. We do have low hanging fruit underneath it. Lift a bit higher if it offers a reshort. No. $75s. Okay. Just be careful if you're still in this. I'd love it to break lower, but no, where we start to see squeezes when sellers can't break the lows. We had a huge seller come in right at 24,000. Okay, I still think there's a good chance we move lower. I'm just saying, like, expect like a 2-leg or something. All right, a 2-leg, and then maybe they offer the resale, especially like watching this shelf here if they pop over it and then resell it. The seller at 24k is trapped. Yeah, currently it doesn't mean we can't move lower. You know, we're only 20 points above him. But yeah, he came in with some pretty notable size down there. Let's see if I can see him on the book here. We're just in this node, starting to rotate this node now. All right, so a squeeze would be something like this, and then maybe they sell it. A drop will be this, and then I'd be very careful about this move here back up if they just do a little clean out and then reclaim it. As a reminder, we were selling up here and up here, so don't get caught selling too close to the lows, please. Just manage your position that you had. And I'll remind you, one tweet can change everything. So if you're being loose right now and they come out and say, I don't know, ceasefire agreed earlier, or terms have been agreed, or who knows. I'm just saying a candle like that will just rip this whole thing back up, right? And news like that. So just manage your position is what I'm trying to tell you. So into the edge of this, and value area low is still much higher. They can, for me, based on my Ninja Trader, we can lift up to 85s if they really want. We've got lots of imbalances where we are now, up here. Some bids trying to show up here. It's 40s. They've stacked 40s to 50s to 75s, which is where that sort of low volume node is up here. That's where they've stacked the sellers into the imbalances. So here comes the lift. That's what we talked about. They can come much higher if they want. This was very aggressive on the way down, I'll remind you. Here's into the anchored view up off that first sell. If they pop this, then I would think about a bigger lift, but this is a big level here. And it's due relief, like we talked about, and is expected after such a strong sell. Question is, how high do they want to go? And do they resell it? Or are we going to see a V shape and some nasty tweet or something come out? Who knows? So into that anchored view up off the sell, you can see that's average price of sellers right now. Well, of all players, to be honest. So average price of trap buyers as well. We'll see if we see downside pressure off the back of that. VPOC now shifted lower as well. Here they come. Here they come. This VPOC's going to be interesting down here into 30s. They've got to get under that, these sellers. If they hold this shelf here, it's going to be dangerous for the sellers here. I think this shelf. If buyers hold that shelf, it's going to be very dangerous for the sellers because they're not going to get the move that they want lower. And it will cause a bigger squeeze. So buyer right now is caught at 59. VPOC for me has moved to 30. Sellers are caught down at 24,000. We did not take the liquidity at the lows, so I kind of expect us to move lower at some point today, but it doesn't have to be now. It can be hours later if they want. But you can see anchored VWAP rejecting. This anchored VWAP here becomes important. If we trade under that, then I think we see new lows. Still holding the grey box. VIX pulling back of 27s. So that retest now. What's that old wick high? Might want to test 26.27 now and see if it can hold it. 26.27 that is. See if they have follow through. Testing it again. VPOC down there. You can see we're just trapped between the two VWAPs and VPOC now in this like big shelf that's been built. more bid here. They're trying to bid 50 now. They're trying to force that squeeze up at the moment. Very, very tight here between these two anchored VWAPs, as you can see. Hoping to get to 140. I mean, it's very possible if we break through this with 50% of the leg, very possible into this golden pivot up here. It's doable. I wouldn't rule it out. That's why I'm saying, like, manage your positions. Like, if you haven't fully exited, you've got to expect like a decent pullback here. ES almost into its VWAP, got a bit further to go. Into 605s, that kind of level. Be retest to that undercut box. We'll see. We'll see if we get up there how we act. Make a decision. Here they come. Yes, coming right into VWAP now, into its New York VWAP. I think he's got a bit more to go. Here it comes, is the squeeze. So filling some of these imbalances. Previous week point of control now will be important as well. The big sellers came in at 140, remember. Big sellers came in at 140. Still liquidity up there if they want to go for it. Yes. We just have to see how we act now. Still doesn't finish this squeeze if it wants to complete the squeeze up here. What's this old box? It's previous day open. Get rid of that. All right, big buyers came in at 59s, so that's where they're going to need to hold price. If they can't hold 59s, you'd see a much bigger sell, I would say. They came very aggressive at the 59s, just so you know. Here come the sellers. They're trying. Lots of bid down at 65s and 60s. It's still trying to finish this squeeze up to VWAP and previous week close at the moment by the looks of it. So protecting this low so far. Seriously, fucking mowing a lawn at 20 past 7. Get out of it, mate. What's wrong with people? Okay, in towards New York VWAP here. Big shelf is above at 59s. Sellers last came in up here at 40s, remember? Might see a V shape here. If you've got to be very careful. If they start recovering, it will be a V shape. Like I said, if you have not covered most of all of your position, you need to be very, very careful. We expected this pullback. It's a huge move on the hourly. If you look at that hourly candle, right back into the hourly transition now. They might come and test that seller at 140. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. If they get through that, it's pretty much clear skies above on the book, at least at the moment. On the book, at least. . Well, we hit VWAP, but not seeing excess there. Doesn't feel like we finished it yet. Doesn't feel like we've gone backside. Doesn't feel like we're finishing it. ES is starting to try and find a bid on its VWAP. It's a bit concerning. We're going to look for a short up here. I'm interested, but not seeing anything on the tape yet. Hopefully it will come soon. Still passively being absorbed here. The seller's not really coming back in for a retest of those lows. And it looks like the lift to 150 is available right now. But we'll see. It can change very, very quickly. So we've got a shelf down here into sort of the 100s, just under the 100s. And if they lose that, then maybe we can go and revisit 60s. It's the 100 test here. Seller came in aggressively there. Big level this little node here, big level. You wouldn't imagine it'd be so big, but it is. They're bidding on it. There you go, they've bid on it. I just wonder if they want to come all the way back up here at the moment. ES back inside previous week close. We're not inside previous week close yet, but ES is, so that's also worth being aware of. So ES gone back inside its weekly. So look below and fail technically. NQ still below it. Back to the 100 again. This is the level. They let go of this, we get a bigger wash down. So I'm going to see what we do. I don't like the excess on the pullback of the high though, really, into previous week close. It's okay, it's not great. Looking for a reshort then. Pop start to fail on the backside. Big level into these VWAPs. Yeah, I know. I kind of felt the same about that seller just above. It's what I was watching for, just this guy up here. Yeah, I've kind of felt the same. We'll see. We'll see. You'd want them to sell versus 100 now. Right on some of these anchors. Tricky, tricky, tricky. See if we can get something else. Pop start to fail. I want to get in before we come down and test the 60, because 60 will be my cover point. My first cover point would be 60. I'll be covering 60, 40, and then low of day. So I need pops to get in before we come to 60. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem for me. There we go. Just the move back up. They need to sell this now. Otherwise, we will come and test that seller at 40s. This is what I'm looking for. Nice extension there. All right, let's got a feeler on this. Small size. Not convinced that we're not coming back for that 140 right now. Doesn't feel like it's over, does it? Feeler on it, though. We want to come test 140. We do. They're adding more above it. How high are they adding? On the 70s? We'll see. Sevens. Does that line up? really. So I'm just looking at the divergence in the volume between NinjaTrader and TradingView right now. If we get through 140, we're going to go 180. It will be a full rotation of value in my mind if we do that, which would be pretty incredible after a big sell, but it's something we've seen more and more recently. So far, just in this with a feeler into this node. Come on then, do it for me. I'll add in if you start showing me that you're ready for a backside move. Still absorbing down there. We've got a buyer on the tape around 80 right now, just in front of 80. If we get through him, I think we flush to test the buyer at 60. But at the moment, there's a buyer at 80 because we've tried to sell there aggressively twice now. We tried to sell there at 10.29. We just tried to sell there again and failed to get through it. It doesn't mean we can't get through it. It's just worth noting there's definitely a buyer there. Here we come, testing him again. He's still there. Still there. He's being aggressive now for a squeeze out. Yeah, definite buyer at 80s. Until we let go of 80s convincingly, I'm not going to add into anything. I've got a feeler on and that's it. Testing him again. They're being aggressive again, and he's still absorbing. We need him to get out of the way. If he gets out of the way and we start failing, I'll be more interested. And you can see still there. It's just gobbling everything up right now. Everything into 80s, in front of 80s, he's eating. Need him to get out of the way. Back to him again. Let's see. They're trying to sell aggressively again into him. Big sellers coming in. Will he move out of the way? Still eating. Gobble, 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 gobble. Incredible. Incredible. He's trying to force that squeeze for the 140. It's incredible. Like, sellers have really piled in there. What you have to understand, into 80s, the sellers have really piled in and they have been gobbled up. They have been gobbled up. And they are, again, we're seeing the same thing on the tape that we've seen the last few weeks. Sellers don't walk down. They're stacked. Look, 10, 12, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. They just sit up there. No one's coming down and forcing price lower when they have the opportunity. And that worries me as a short seller. There we go. So that is the proof. And straight into that 40 lot that we just talked about. And those sellers made that very obvious that that was going to happen because they just would not force price down. They just sit up there waiting to be filled. It's kind of gross when you're looking for continuation trades to see that. It always worries me to see that on the book being like, well, they're not coming down. We have tagged 40 now, so we'll see now. We'll see now. Back into this shelf. This might be it now if they're going to let go on that tag of 40, but time is about to show us. But again, look at the sellers above us. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, not coming down. Just sat up there. Very passive, not being like, oh, we need to force this price down. You're short on the tag. Yeah, I've got a short on that tag as well. But I'm small size, move my price up a little bit from that tag. But we'll see. If we start a base and hold here, it's a problem. But that was the move I was thinking we'd come to. We showed that seller up there a few times. But we've got to move now under this node of 100. They have to move under 100, and they better do it soon. Because there's been a lot of absorption at 80, remember. So hopefully that guy absorbing got his exit at 140. Here we go. It's got to move under 100. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Sellers coming, piling in. Beautiful. Need follow through under 80. Look at this guy at 80. Incredible. He's still there. Once he goes, we're going to hit 60s. He is still there at 80. Wow. Wow, dude. He's a big boy. He's a big boy down there. Wow. He ain't playing, man. He is not playing. Coming back for him again. If he liquidates, we'll get 60, and that would be my first cover. And then under that, we can be go time. We need to get under these VWAPs and down to 60s. Still on the tape. He's still on the tape here. Fuck me, mate. Please, can you get out of the way? You could just give me one like retest of a key level, please, bud. Nope. Oh, mate. He is not letting go of this. He is not letting go of this. Wow. If we don't break soon, I'm going to take it off because I don't like how much conviction he has to buy everything right now. That worries me. We got to get him out of the way. Still buying. He's buying everything down here. Look at the convergent on the VWAPs now. VPOC starting to hold now at 100. They've got to get back under 100 for this bear flag breakdown. Still in it. And if we start staying heavy, I'll add. Oh my God, I can't believe this guy. He's doing exactly what I'd want sellers to do the other side of the tape, which they won't do. So in my head, I'm like, why? Don't fight him. Don't fight him. If he's not willing to let go, don't fight him. We had this last week where they just bid and bid and bid and bid and bid and bid and bid. The other side of me is like, once we get under him, does he liquidate? Because if he does, he's got so much size, it will be such a nasty snap. But again, these sellers just stacking up above, not walking price down. All right, I've taken one off here because I don't like that we're holding here so long. So reduced my size. I'm going to reduce my size. Now we're going to do it. Sod's law. Sod's law. Okay, let's... Oh, you got to love trading. You've got to love trading. All right, these 80s are key. This is where he keeps absorbing the tape. If we stay heavy versus 100 and then start rejecting under 80s, the transition should be back down to test the buyer who came in at 60s. Oh, you've got to laugh. You have got to fucking laugh. That's all you can do. All these VWAPs though, big levels. Reject. Get rid of that now. Starting to feel like we might want to go backside. He just needs to move. He's still here. 80, 75, 70, 65, 60s, 55. is just still there. Just trying to let this one work out until it shakes me out or gives me a reason to add. Yeah, news. Iran has cut off communications with the US over President Trump's threat to destroy Iran's whole civilization. That's what I was talking about. Well, if that's true, then we're going to see this is an extended war, aren't we? All right, I'm still in this short side. Waiting to see if we can break down under 80s and stay heavy. And then the big buyer came in this morning at 60s. So I'll show you. Big bid came in here at 60s. The buyer keeps absorbing these 80s down here. All right, if we lose 80s, we should roll to 60s. If we lose 60s, then I think we get a retest of the lows. All right, so that's what I'm trying to position for. My only short on this right now is up at 131s because I pulled my other one off. My starter came off. I can show you just so you can see. There you go. This is mine on my pro account. So this starter position came off. It's just this one up here at the moment. And we'll see. We'll see. Right, here's under 80s, watching this 60 level. It's where the big buyer came in before, remember. So protecting 60s so far. 80s is the big level. They need to stay heavy at 80s if I'm going to be convinced that we're going to move lower. 80s to 96s basically. So if we pop up and start to fail up there, I'll think about an add back on, which will pull my core position down again. But if we pop up and reclaim, I'll probably just take the trade off. So testing this buyer at 60s, I keep talking about. And if we get under 60s, we flush down to the 40s shelf that we had before. Okay, so buyer at 60s. If we get under 60s, here's the 60 test. We have imbalances and we can flush down to 40s. So if we can get under 60s, we can flush down to 40s. Now I wish I had more size on. Iran cut negotiations, but you thought you said they were negotiating. Well, I think that tweet was enough for them, is what they said. That when he threatened to wipe out the civilization, they've come out and said they've cut. They didn't say they stopped negotiating. They said their words were, "We've cut all communications." Okay, seller coming in here at 80s. This is the big level. If they reclaim this, I'm just done with it because this is where they need to resell. They have to resell here for a move lower. I've added. I want to see a breakdown now. We've got a break under 60s now. Oh, you absolute dick. Don't come back in here again. I've just seen you leave the tape, which is why I've added. Don't come back in here. Make me pull my core off. Mate, he's literally just come back on the tape and see him again. Well, I'll risk VPOC, I guess. Which is basically my core. That would be break even if we come up there. You prick. You fucking prick. I hate it when you do this. Get out my way. Get out my way. Come on. Come and break 60s. Come on. I really don't want to cover anything here. No dice, man. No dice. He's come back on the book at 60s and 65s now. Just reloading constantly down there again. Just like he was at 80s, he's now doing it at 60 and 65. It's exactly the same look. Oh, he's trying to play continuation and he's not going to let me have it. He's not going to let me at it. How do I know it's the same guy? I mean, technically I don't, but it's just how he's acting like that. It's the same fucking guy, mate. Like, it's the reload market. Reload. It's exactly what he did before. It's like you can see him on the book, like shoving the same size around non-stop. Oh, my days. This is getting very wonky. Very wonky. The fuck is going on here? Has news just hit the wire? I haven't seen anything. They're pulling the book and thinning out. Greer's talking, but there's nothing else. I don't know. Seems odd. Maybe just that one guy bullying people. Still, they're bidding 60s. Still, we should be moving lower here, and we're not. And that's what's in my head. We should be doing something, and we're not doing it. Just like, maybe it's just that gamma level. What's that gamma level on that high time frame? 810. No, it's not that. 890. Maybe. Here we go. 60s is the level. 60s is the level that he's defending now. You can see it here. So we just tried to flush into him. This is the guy, all right? Same guy as earlier. 60 here. This is the level. If they lose 60s, we test 40s and this shelf. And try and pull it across. If we lose 60s, we'll test 40s. But this is a rotation. They're just developing a big rotation out here because that guy keeps absorbing every time. I can feel I'm not well because I'm getting annoyed with this guy streaming outside my house. I'm like in the mood to go and tell him to fuck off. That's definitely a sign that I'm not feeling too good. All right. Well, I don't know, folks. It's getting very thick here now. The hourly looks good. What we've done on the hourly looks good. This was the expected move. Maybe just looking for too much. All right, so we broke down. The shorts were at here this morning. We broke down under this. We short down into this pocket. If we undercut that, I think we can hit here today. But, you know, we're in this pullback on the hourly now. They're not reselling for that move. And if they don't, they can come back up to here and we just have to be aware of it. It might not be a resell today. That might be it. I'd be surprised, but not impossible. Bathroom break will flush it. maybe it will. Here they come, testing 60 again. Big bar at 60 again. Still there again. Look at that response. Sellers coming in here. They are trying to wash this down to the 40s like we talked about. Not sized in now. Oh man, a size in and I take the break even because of that wick up. All right, here we go. Here's the 40s test. You just got to laugh today. Oh, Ninja Traders paused for a second. There we go, it's back. All right, way short on the likes, guys. We need 1,200 likes for the giveaways, remember? It's looking better now. So you're coming in to test this 40 shelf, this grey box here. If you lose that, like I said, I think we run this today. We still haven't run it. I wouldn't be surprised to see us liquidate this. If they stay heavy, then we get down here. If they liquidate that and return, that will be done with trade. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're trying to get down into there. It's just struggling a little bit at the moment. Right, I'm going to take a bathroom break and we'll see what happens while I'm gone. Fingers crossed. Be back in a minute. All right, slowly getting there, folks. It's slowly getting there. watching paint dry. Can you hear this outside? Honestly, it's so loud. Insane. Have I ever considered doing macro analysis of the market on my channel? It's in the weekly newsletter every week for free. But we're trading here, so it's technical analysis. Macro fundamentals gets done at the weekend, mate. What's the noise? It's a guy like cutting the grass and strimming and going up and down. Oh, it's just a nightmare. Is there still a buyer there? It's at 45s, 40, 35s, 25s now, but we're through most of them. So you're into TP1 zone down here now, and then we'll just see if we reflush this. Ideally, we just break lower. Like I said, low-hanging fruit's down here. Like, so we expected a two-leg pullback here. They've made this like really awkward, all right? But this candle's such a little bitch. But hopefully, here's your TP1 in case they hold. If they want to set a higher low, they need to set it here. Otherwise, we're going to get this breakdown here. So top of the grey box is your TP1. Green line is TP2. And all the way down here would be TP3. And we'll see if that's a trend expansion. That's our opening print. Is that it there? That'd be good. It'd be look at that. It'd be perfect. 50% expansion move. So I think we can get into this grey box today. And if we got 100%, it'd be into the next grey box on the higher time frame. So we'll just see. We'll see if it's willing to do it. Why was my bias short at the beginning of the session? Because we've left value. We've left players trapped. All right, so my bias was long the last few sessions to get up into supply. All right, once we come up to supply, we've rejected it. We rejected it again, and then we started to base out in the previous week node here. Now, given the messaging that happened overnight, I found it quite hard to believe that the market would want to be risk on. It's possible, but it's quite hard. It's more likely that we'd either be neutral or in a sell. So this morning I was looking pops to sell down to take this out. All right, and that was the analysis here, and it was also what I posted in Discord for members. Like I even said, like the easiest trade. It's this, right? This right here. This pop up to sell into to take out these wick lows, right? And you can see me saying preference would be this move here. All right. So that's what we got. We've already basically had it. It's just how far it can or is willing to continue. Oh, you don't see it. Here. Preference would be this move here. All right. Which is what we're in. That was this move here. Here we go. Here we go. Starting to let go. All right, let's see and see how much more further we can slide. Yeah, they've met. Look, guys, they have not made this easy with these rippy candles out of nowhere. All right, they really haven't. But this is why we're looking for lower prices right now. Really good. Lovely, 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 lovely. Come down, come down, come down. Come and take previous day low out. And then big seller coming in here. Jesus fucking Christ. Why have you just done that, mate? Don't ruin my trade for me. 192 lot. Just come flying in there. Market selling at the 10s. Oh, God. That is like the last thing I want to see right now down here. Bud, what are you doing? Making my life hell doing that. You better break under your fucking price now. Buddy. Yeah, stupid place to sell. Come on, get under him and we can really puke. Let's go. Remember, we're looking for a break of 80s. If you're in this on the sell, you're looking for a break. We're like taking profit into the 80s, into 980, and then below that, come on, don't you fucking dare. Yeah. You are fucking shitting me. You have got to be shitting me. Fucking come and come and fucking film me right now. Right now. Now. Oh, you fucking asshole. Come and I cannot believe I have not been filled down there. Oh. Right, they have to stay heavy at 10. I cannot believe. There's no way they don't break down. There's no fucking way they absorb that. We're moving lower. No fucking way you're doing that. No way they protect that swing low. No way. I think we might move much lower at this point if they break it now. We might move right down into here at this point. Please piss off. Oh my God. Do I just take it off? They're starting to bid at 80. Right, this is into that seller's price, remember, at 09s. If they lift 09s, they're going to come up to 59s. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they can come up to 59s. I cannot believe I didn't get a partial fill there. Good defense of 09 so far. Come on, come back for it. Come on. This is it now. Just break down, for fuck's sake. Get out my way. Come on, Vix. Go and get through 27 for me. Help me out here. Come on. Yeah. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see what you've got on any more juice. Let's see if you've got any more juice to really get nasty today. Do it. Do it. Do it. Give me 880s today. Come on, just let it go. Give me 880s. Let it go. Don't defend it. Don't defend it. Don't defend it. Oh, man. It's very possible. I'm telling you, it's possible we get 880s. It's very possible we trade into this next pivot down here. This is what we looked for. They made it very hard. They made it very hard. This especially made it hard, but this is TP. And we'll just see if we can get into this now. We'll just see. Another good trade. Lots of you should have made some great money there. Change to the 1 minute. Oh, shit. My bad. My bad. I'm so sorry. I left you up there. So sorry. There you go. Dump it. Dump it. Dump it. Come on. Get rid of this now. Well, those VWAPs came in useful. Those anchors, they came in useful. Let's delete this one because it's just New York. There we go. Come on. Let's go. I don't know what else I have to say. You can do it. Come on, come down here. You can do it. Come to Papa. Come on. They want to. They really want to do it. We're in negative gamma squeeze territory. ES has got the catch-up trade, right, to 66, which is why I think we can do it. Come on, baby. Come on. Whole number 950 here. 200 lot buyer here at 950. Be aware, there's an old imbalance down here. My accent's not working. Well, it is now. It's starting to work. Big buys at 250s. Big buys here at 250s. Nice. Nay, let's go. All right, big seller partnered with that buyer there at 250. So you got to be aware of that now. Sorry, 250, 950. There's a 250 lot seller at 250 partnered off with that buyer. So big exit there. Hey, FCT, I've got a TPT eval today, smash 3K required, but I have 4 more trading days to fully pass. Think I'm breaking the 50% profit rule. Any suggestions for the next 5 trading days? Well, which account did you get? 50K? You're going to need to make 6 grand now if you got a 50K. So just do the same again tomorrow. How much did I make? I'm up about a fiver right now. Yeah. Again, still waiting for some of my payouts to go through. Some of you would have seen I posted it on Twitter last night. Yo, Flo, thank you. I just locked in 60K payout on Apex. Hey, congrats, Ben. Nice work, man. Nice work. All right, good auction at the lows down there. Just telling you, that is a good auction at the lows down there. They might come and revisit this kind of area here now, make a decision what next. That was a decent auction down there. A bit like earlier. So they might have a bit of a lift up, back test where we just broke down from. Right, back test this kind of area here. All right, build out some liquidity maybe to do this move. But if they reclaim this, you want to be done with the shorts, probably done with the day then if they start to reclaim all of that. Still selling on the tape and they're lifting it. Where's TP? Well, you've hit most of them. You're runners only now. Right, so if you're still holding, oh, get rid of that. If you're still holding, all right, remember your TPs, your main TP was this green line. Right, rejection here, and we're looking for this block here. All right, this block here is big. Top of this block is where I thought we'd retest last week, so it's possible we still move down to that. But if you're not already in short, you will need to now let it build out liquidity versus IB for this expansion mood. ES coming into that previous day low as well. Previous day, previous week low. Just trying to get into it on ES, just a heads up. Tyson extension, yeah, that's what we just modeled out, which would be into this grey box if they can do it. I don't know if they do it, but if they do it, the 1.5 is here and 161 is like down here somewhere. So into here, and you can see the options are priced in this negative move. This yellows are like a negative squeeze down to here. That's the max extension that they've priced in so far. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but that's where they've priced it into. There's a squeeze back up. So this is how they build the liquidity. And they have to make a decision now into these levels. And you'd want to see this defended if you're still short. The big sellers came in at 24,000, 24,010. Any reclaim of that, I'd say you would want to be out of this for a reclaim of that. You have divergence at the lows versus previous week or previous week low. Yeah, ES didn't take it. IB's being retested now across the board on the indexes. And like I said, if you start to reclaim 24,000, 24,010, I would say you would want to be completely out and done with this because the auction at the low looks very good. That's a big seller right at the low of day. That's what you'd want to see. So here's the retest of the 24,000. And this is kind of key now. Like what happens next is like this level here. Do we stay heavy here for a follow through downside, or do we reclaim and squeeze? This is it. This is it, folks. This is where they make the decisions. Right here, right now. So here's the retest of 10s. And through that, potentially squeeze back and say up to 59s. This is your block. Oh. Here's the squeeze back. So I'd probably be done with it, personally. Each their own. Not that I don't think it can't necessarily move lower, but I think all the really good moves, we basically got them. We had them. We're starting to get through where all the sellers have come in this morning now. So all the sellers are since, I don't know, what's that drop? Since 11 o'clock. All those sellers were into their probably their average levels now. So if they can't sell this, they will get squeezed back out to the upside. So be aware of that. Now or never for these sellers at these 10s. Hey, Luna, get out of it. All right, how are we doing on the likes? Still not there, folks. We need 1,200, so another 400 likes, 400 more likes, and we can give away some accounts, some Apex accounts. They rejected 10s here. If you stay under 24,000, you might get that move back down. It's very hard. ES has still got to take the liquidity. My bias is still lower right now. Very, very hard because of the divergence. I'm sure some of you are thinking about the IB trade back up right now, and I don't blame you for that because this auction is quite good. It's very tricky watching the ES here. There's two ways to play this. If you're an IB trader, you can think about this move here. If you're thinking about the failure, I'd be, can we stop doing that, please? I'll be thinking about this move. I'm not going to play the rotation back in. Not going to do it. You just long 950 should hold. Yeah, I mean, the excess down there is good. Like I said, there's 185 lot seller caught down there. But ES has not taken out previous week lows, and you just wonder if that's to come, if we're in a trend day and this is just a little peak up which gets resold. I don't know, folks. No one knows. It's just positioning the side of the trade you want to be on. How to join the Discord? It comes for free when you do the 20-hour course. So if you go to flowzonetrader.com, you do the beginner to advanced course. It would cost you $6.99. It's 20 hours. You get a Discord and you get a version of my indicators included in that. Yeah, I mean, I can see the argument both sides here, folks, for the trade, right? Big seller caught at the lows. I can understand people who watch that thinking, I'll look for the early buy back up. I can understand people looking for the initial balance hold up to the midpoint or VWAP, and I can understand the resell versus these sellers from before for a retest of these lows and looking for follow through. I see both sides of the trade here, which means I don't like it. I don't like it when both sides become viable If it's a 6-7, then why do it? In my mind, is how I work. Lots of buyers coming in here, not getting their way though so far. If I ever try to trade FOMC, very rarely. I don't bother with FOMC, honestly. All you get in FOMC is like really sharp moves from algos listening to news. Sometimes I'll play after it once they've stopped talking. I tend not to like trading during news. Like, I don't want to put new positions on during news. Whoa, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You guys who took the IB are laughing now, aren't you? Woohoo! There's your IB trade. That's got to be news hitting the wire. That has to be news. Like I said, 50-50. One side's going to win. You pretty much got it. Not quite, but pretty much got it. I wouldn't be a dick over that. I'd take your money if I was you, or at least take a good chunk of it for those of you who took it. Tehran has come out saying diplomatic and indirect channels of talks with the US are not closed. So they're basically going... It's the flip-flop, isn't it? So earlier, Iran said... I can't remember their words. Basically, we're not communicating with America because they've threatened to wipe our country from existence. And now Tehran said we are still in negotiations. So there you go. So it's the flip-flop. Both sides can't make their mind up. Made money both sides. Yeah, like I said, you can validate the trade both sides. For me, I'm not going to trade. Like, I've made my money now, right? We've hit the low hanging fruit. Okay, the job today, what was I looking for? If you remember, I was looking for pops, ideally all the way up into here to sell down into here, TP1. And if we broke the gray box, which is what we rotated in, then we were looking for green line and then this. All right, that was the trade that we were looking for. All right, this is just like if we got very, very lucky. All right. Unfortunately, I think I took a piece of this and I tried a piece of this and took a break even. And I think I took a loss on a third one here. I think it was here. So I took one okay, one break even, one loss. And then I caught this and then I caught a piece of this. And those winners way, 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 way outweigh the losers. And I'll be taking money out of TPT again tonight. You can see it's whipping around now. Headlines become like really hard to price in. Right? I can understand when we're risk on or risk off, but headlines do get hard to price in. At least at the moment, because they're changing direction. It's like, which way does the wind blow? Whether we're whether they're opening straight, not opening straight, demanding money, not demanding money, at war, not at war, from both sides. We already did the P&L, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm up about $5,000, basically. Like I said, I'm waiting to get paid on a lot of the accounts at the moment. So I can show you where is it? I think I posted it in here yesterday. Right, so gone for payouts on these. These are the Apex ones. So this is the last 8 days. So you can see 900, 500, 1,300, 7, 1,300, 1,600, 1,200, and then I just did a flip day. So in for payout. So it's why I'm not linking a lot of them at the moment. Fake payouts. How's it fake payout? Whatever, mate. I don't even care. Yeah, fake payout. So what's this TPT one then as well? What's this? Is that fake as well? Yeah, is that fake? I'm just asking. Pro account. I'm up over 11,500 on it. So silly. So silly when people say it. Okay. Market's starting to go to sleep here, unsurprisingly. You might start to condense here. You can see we're in a B shape today. All right. We're in the D of the B. All right. Right here. D of the B. And we might start to compact price here a bit. All right. We're still in downtrend. All right. That's what we're in. But when we start failing to break lower, all right, if we start failing to break lower and shorts pile in down here and don't get their way, then when we come to the other side of the range, they will start stopping out and then you can get a squeeze out. So you need to be careful if you're looking to reshort this market today. You do not want to be a new money short down here, right? That's why we're moving up, because they're caught right now. But for me, I don't want to trade in this. I wanted to trade here and here, and I wanted to trade here down. I don't want to trade in this now. Not when we've had low-hanging fruit taken. Hopefully that makes sense. Deadline for the Stone Age, it's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe. I believe that's it. How do your taxes work on payouts? It's done like you're a contractor, so it's not really very tax efficient. If you actually trade futures by yourself, it's much more tax efficient. But it's just done like you're a contractor. Hey, so if you needed to make money quickly as a beginner, how would you start? I'd quit straight away if that's your attitude, because you're not going to make money quickly as a beginner, and if you do, it's going to be luck and you're going to give it all back. There's no such thing as making money quickly as a beginner. Can't do it. You have to be a turtle in the race for the marathon. Yeah, exactly. If you want to make money quick, drive Uber. Yeah. You got to understand, like, this is a zero-sum game. This is you v you, but it's also you versus everyone else in the world. And if you're a beginner, you're not the best trader in the world. There are people the other side of the trade, much bigger, much better than you. So to think that you can just snatch money out of their hands, because that's literally what you're trying to do, it would just be foolish. Right? Maybe you get lucky. I don't know. Maybe you get lucky. Some people do. They normally give it all back, though. Worst thing that can happen to you as a new trader is that you get lucky. I agree. Talked about it many times before. Or you pick up really bad habits, and that's impossible to shake for years and years and years to come. And you make money from those bad habits, and then you realize they're bad, and they start costing you money, and you can't get rid of them. I agree, Dean. Better to learn the hard lessons early and pay your tuition to the markets. I totally agree. Totally agree. The earlier you do it, the better. Trading, I think trading gets. There's two ways of putting it. I think kids, if you taught a kid how to trade and told them the rules of engagement, you can only trade. You only put a trade on when you see this and you see this. Before they understand the value of money, they'll probably be very, very good. I would imagine that if you're on the spectrum, you're also a very good trader because you have less emotional entanglement which means you can make cleaner decisions. And then I would then imagine as you get older, you don't want to, in those youthful years, you probably rush stuff. As you get older, you probably have a respect for conditions a bit more. Penny, what were the low-hanging fruits I was going over after? Previous week low, or this green pivot here, basically. If we come back, this low that we put in on Sunday. Or current week low, sorry. Sunday. All right, so we filled the gap. We came into the low from Sunday. Sunday the 5th. And if we trade under that, then I think, like I said, if we trade under that, those of you who were here last week will know, where was it? One of these pullbacks. This pullback didn't finish this gap. We would have liked to have seen this complete this low volume node all the way down. Didn't. This pullback didn't quite come to here either. So it's possible we come into this block. We've undercut it. We want to be aware we've undercut it. So if we think about this as a range, right? This is a range. Current week is also in this same range. We've left this range, so we're looking for downside pressure. If we undercut, which we have, and we reclaim this range, then shorts are gone and we're going to look for that upside move, because this will then be a stop out, look below, fail, reclaim, and we will go to the other side to come and claim these stops. Both are available, but they're easy trade today. Easy trade. The trade that was more obvious was the one we've had. You gonna let me delete this? No. What is this? Get out of my way. There we go. So it was this week's low, not last week's low. It's my bad. Basically yesterday's low. True low. Can I do the same for ES? What do you need on ES? It's coming for this. It's the same thing. You've left this range. This is now resistance. All right. If you think about you arranging in here, support, resistance, midpoint, duck under, failed, pops into this range, failed this morning. And now you failed this edge. And the trade is down to here. All right. But you've had divergence because NQ's taken that out already. All right. And you've got, that's where they were trying to get to. All right, so basically it's sell side for this. If they reclaim this, it's buy side for a look below and fail and trade back up. Same story. It's exactly the same. Nothing's changed. No worries. Did we gap fill? Yeah, we gap filled. To the downside, you mean? I'm assuming you mean the new week opening gap, not the gap overhead. The gap above is way up here. We have not even come into that. But the new week opening gap to the downside we filled. That was this white line right here. Alex, I'm new to trading, still learning. Thanks for your stream every day. I'm 45 years old. Do you think it's too late to become a good trader? To become good at trading over time? No, it's definitely not too late, my friend. Mohammed, definitely not too late. It's never too late. Do I plan on making a more detailed video with trading with Bookmap? No, because it's in the course. It's there. How old am I? I'm 40. Yeah, I do trade full time. I'll be honest, it's not my only source of income. I'm also a landlord, and I also have some businesses in the music industry as well. So it isn't my only income, but my other incomes are a bit more passive than this. When is it better to trade NQ instead of ES or the other way around? There's no better. It is just preference. It is preference. I like trading NQ because of the volatility. For day trading, it provides you a lot of volatility and opportunity because the ATR is normally bigger for you to make more money quicker for day trading. And when I'm swing trading, I wouldn't want to swing trade NQ. I think it would run your stops out and drive you mad. It does it enough as it is. I think ES is a better vehicle if you're going to swing trade futures. Yeah, I'm 40. Yeah, I am. You better believe it. I am. Give me another year and I'll have to cut all my hair off because it'd be grey. It's happening. It's happening, folks. Especially doing this stream, the more I'm here, the more stressful it is. Long-term hold of QQQ is fine. Yeah, of course. QQQ is fine with the ETFs. Grey started. It started here. It's starting. It's starting here. It's starting here. Starting here. Give it another year. Plus, I've had a really awful start to the year this year with stuff off the screens, and I think that's probably only made it even quicker. Chicks dig the grey. There's a cure for grey hair. What's that? Apple polyphenols and cacao. Okay, I'll look into it. Oh, mate, Adam, don't, mate. The weekend. I just knew that was going to happen at the weekend. I'm so annoyed with Arteta. I went to message you. I was like, don't. Adam would be fuming as well. Don't message him. We're talking about Arsenal at the weekend. Why are we playing our shit teams in cup games and just acting like it's like not important? It just pisses me off. You want normal markets back? Careful for what you wish for, man. Careful for what you wish for. I know what you mean. Like sometimes the volatility is exhausting, but the opportunities to day trade in these markets are very, very good. No, I live in Los Angeles. I live in LA. Yeah, I think we'll win the league, but you know, we could have won so much more if he just mate, playing people out of position pisses me off. Forcing people just annoys me. Just win the big games. We haven't had silverware in forever. Like, drives me mad. Oh, Danny, I'm definitely 40, mate. 1985. Carmen, why do I have to stop answering questions? Nothing's happening in the market. You're welcome to leave. Like, you know, this is my stream. Like, I'm not actively trading now. I've made my money. Like I said, I'm not going to trade the rotation. I've told you what my expectation is. What part of the music industry am I in? Well, I still own a few record labels, and I still engineer for a few people. And I'm still signed to Warner Chappell as a writer producer, so I still have to still make music each year to fulfill my obligations with them. How much is the course? It's $699 for the 20-hour course, and it's 399, I think. 399 for the volume and order flow one. All right, possible that they want to come and test these guys here, this edge here, and if they can, they try and run these stops. But again, you're just in B-shaped profile in the D to B right now. Easy money's gone, which is why I'm now uninterested in the trade. And you're in rotation, your IB rotation to VWAP. If you get acceptance over this VWAP and over this node here, then you could look for this. If some of you are still in it from this one, maybe. But you should be out. Majority of your positions, I would have paid myself most in that. If you rebid this into here, I'd be out a good chunk here, and then you can hold a runner just in case they do it for you. But I would say, let me just check. Yeah, this node here is still very, very thick, and we are technically in sell pressure all the time. We're under this node because this is the previous week's big volume level. So I would expect us to sell back down from that. If we reclaim it, then we're going to go for a full attempt back up. But I would say if you were longs from the IB, pay yourself here, pay yourself here. I wouldn't be looking for too much more. I would expect that a range might develop, and you could even get a stop out here and something like this later in the afternoon. Unless the narrative changes, which it could easily change. Let's see if any more headlines have landed. I'm not really seeing much. Okay, how are we doing on the likes? We almost there? Still not even at 1,000, let alone 1,200. There's a sell off the edge of this. Then you go, there's the edge, there's VWAP. I'll delete this now. I'll put an anchor off your low, just so you know. As a landlord, do I pay managers? Yeah, I do. They're useless. I'm actually fighting them at the moment. Yeah, but I would say Haley, definitely get a property manager. We did it privately first. It was a nightmare privately, because if they don't pay, you've just got nothing to fall back on. And we had stuff like that. And you know, I'm a foreign investor because my home's in London, so I can't go over and check it myself. Managers are expensive though, and you've got to keep on top of them because they're not very good at managing. They'll try and overcharge you for stuff and all sorts. So it's worth getting, but just do your due diligence and do some research and make sure you get a good one. When I said NQ got to the low and now there's divergence, what do I mean? Well, this was the current week low, and we traded through it and back over it. And if this was the low from Sunday, right, ES only came to here, right? It didn't come and tag this out. So we had divergence in that NQ has taken the low, run the stops at the low. ES has not run the stops at the low, right? So we look at ES, hasn't run the stops at the low, right? It's left this liquidity. Right, so anyone who's a buyer from the Sunday swing buyer and has their stops here, they haven't been run out yet. Vance is speaking. I thought he finished already. He's still going. Landlord in Cali, good luck. Who, me? I live in Cali, but I'm a landlord in London. What do you mean they make me look like a movie star? I am a movie star, man. Changing professions. Do I like UK or American more? They're very different. They're very different. And you can't really compare America to the UK. You have to compare state by state and city by city because they're so different. I have some gripes with LA. Like, I think it's absolute extortion on anything. I think there's price gouging everywhere. It's just a joke. I don't like that it's not a centralized city. Being so used to having lived in London or even on the South Coast for years, like, you can walk everywhere, or it's a small drive and you can go bar hopping and stuff like that, and you don't need to plan anything, and you've got public transport. LA is just a nightmare. You've got to drive for hours to get anywhere. You have to plan ahead. But that's just LA. That's not the same as, you know, New York or Chicago. So I don't think you can compare the two. They're very, very different. I am from London, yeah. Trading day's over with. Why are we still here? Well, we're just having a chat and hanging out. Like, you don't have to be here. I don't understand people that say that. Like, you don't have to be here. Like, I'm done with it because I've made my money. I've had my low-hanging fruit. If I was going to trade this, what would I be looking for? I'd still be looking for downside pressure. Oh my God, where's that just gone? I'd still be looking for downside pressure. But at the moment, we're back inside of IB. We've done the IB rotation trade. So some people took the IB rotation trade. All right, IB to view up. All right, and you're now holding this node. And if they keep bidding, they will try and run these stops up here. If they fail to bid this, this is the downside pressure move. Am I not allowed to just hang out and wait for you guys to get enough likes on the stream so I can do a giveaway? Can I recommend some trading view indicators? Well, it depends what you're trying to do. Depends on your method, my friend. There's millions of indicators. They're not going to change how you trade. You've got to decide what kind of trader you are. If you're a momentum trader, you want a momentum indicator. If you're a volume trader, you want a volume indicator. What's the name of a song I showed you a few months ago? You looked so young in it. It was probably Pony with Genuine. What strat did I start with? I actually started when I first started trading overextensions on standard deviations on small caps on daily levels. That's what I started with. No, I'm not going to play my music because it would get pulled off, because it would get done for copyright. Do I pay for the volume? No. It's not an indicator, buddy. It's a drawing tool. It's a drawing tool. Like this right here. Anchored volume profile. Might look different to yours because I pay for tick data, but other than that, no. Is trading directly on NinjaTrader better for execution than TradingView? My personal feeling is yes. Yes, that's my personal feeling. Old boy Ross Cameron does that. Well, isn't he? He's long biased though, no? Unless he's changed. He's always been long biased. Do I want to trade my own capital in the future? I do trade my own capital, my friend. Just not really in the futures market. Do I see 2 Tyson trades a day often? In the current market, yeah. It's been fairly frequent that we've seen them. I mean, you could argue there were 2 here. The first one didn't quite hit, but Uno, maybe that was an add into here. I still wonder if we want to do this, but maybe we just pin it for tonight. That is a really good auction down there. They are starting to be very aggressive on the buy here. You see them trying to lift this up for the 100 test. Remember, like we said, you've got like a shelf here. You can see it. And you've got stops living up here. And the main VWAP in this node all the way up here. And how much of a pullback would that be of the day if we did that? Yeah, 61 fib. Funny that. Ross had 2 days in a row now max loss. What's his max loss now? Not what it used to be, I'm sure. I remember in 2021, he tried to trade, I think it was GME on his birthday, and he lost $1 million. Never forget that. Where would I recommend investing capital? Well, I'm not a financial advisor, so I will answer how I invest my capital. My capital goes into property and goes into ETF funds and big cap stocks. Lost 20k yesterday. Well, 20k is nothing for Ross now, I'd assume. I'd assume that's a small day for him now. But I have no idea how many. Maybe he's not turning over the same kind of money he used to turn over in warrior trading. What future prop firms do you recommend for those outside the US or UK? I can't say that, my friend. You'll have to go on and look at the ones. The ones that I work for are down below, but I don't know what country you're in, so you'll have to look at which ones are allowed in your country. He made 20 mil last year. Well, there you go then. So like 20 grand loss ain't you know what to him. It's nothing. Yeah, well, small cap's been a bit slower this year. But I'm sure they got going the last couple of days. That big mover last week should have done damage. Normally gets people bidding. Where's the Russell today? I mean, relative strength in the Russell today, which means we're still rotating. Like when they're coming out of big caps, they'll look to manipulate the small caps a little bit to make their money. You just blew another eval. How? How are you blowing evals in this price action? What are you doing? What are you entering here? What PC do I use? I built my own one. I can't remember the specs. I built it last year. You could probably just get a good gaming PC or something. You just watched the music video and didn't see me. Oh, you're probably watching the original, was it? No, you want to watch Tough Love Pony featuring Genuine. What are you guys saying? Any advice on VTI? Yeah, well, VTI is just an ETF. It's exactly the type of thing you should stick money in long term. The market's not going anywhere. Look how slow this is now. They're trying to build to come and run these stops, and then I think once they've done that, they'll probably fold back down. If they can build enough, you've got relative weakness on ES. If they can build enough, I think ultimately this move's coming. It's just whether they do this first or if they really do this first. But I think they will definitely, not definitely, but I think there's a good chance they trade under this at some point. It's just not, again, not something I'm going to trade. Not once we're in these, I completely lose interest in the market once we're in these. Am I in longs? No, I'm not in anything, mate. I was in shorts down to here, and then I'm done with it. Some of the guys on chat will be in longs, I'm sure. All right, you guys are not going to get me to that magic number today, I can tell. But I'm going to do a giveaway anyway. I'm also managing myself because I'm really not feeling well, like I talked about. I don't know if it's COVID or something again. All right, FZT. Best code for you to use on all your prop firms. All right, so just type that once into chat and we'll pick a winner here. Guys, a couple of minutes to do that. Oh my God. So tired, man. All right, give you guys 10 more seconds here. Oh, I'm going to get back in bed and sleep. All right, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Jamie Green. You hear Jamie Green? Jamie Green. Nice. All right, congrats, Jamie. Just when we finish stream, just send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. All right, just send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I can see it's you on your username, and I'll sort you out with a free Apex account. So I remind you guys, we currently have sales 40% on Lucid and 90% on Apex. I think up to 40% on Tradeify, and there's another bolt-on sale on Funded Next, all using code FZT. We'll get you the best price. There's also 40% on Take Profit Trader right now. No activation fee. You can use code FlowZone over there. Here comes the squeeze. So they're going to try and run these stops like we talked about. This is what we talked about. And we'll see what happens once they run them. All right. I would imagine once they run them, they turn back inside, but we will just have to see what they do once they run them. So if you were long, I'd be taking your profits into value area high on the day. Look where we just stopped short. We just talked about it. Value area high. I would imagine they'll try and run these stops. Maybe if they get very lucky, they get up to 160s. I doubt they get back above that for a reprint higher. I think This is a move where we're going to come back into range. We probably, all right, run these stops, come back in and just develop range here today and pin it until 8 o'clock tonight. That is what I would imagine we will do for the day. If you are long, you need to be selling, right? You need to be locking in. Now you've got 2 days left for the Apex sale, 90%. As a reminder. Is this another short squeeze? It's just a breakout of range, right? So once this is why I become less interested, right? The low-hanging fruit is here. We have divergence of the lows. We reclaim IB. There's your IB print, which I said, like, it's a choice. I'm not going to take it because I don't like that we still got a drawdown here. Higher low, that's a good hold. We come and take this. We're into value area high for the day. We haven't failed to find acceptance above this since breaking down. So since 10 o'clock, we can't find acceptance above this. So my expectation is any poke up into here is probably sold back down into this kind of node and range. And I think we'll just trade within this now is what I would imagine. I think we'll trade within this. So if you bought cheap here, you're selling this. If we come back down and we reject, maybe there's a sell back in if you really want it. I don't think they'll turn a giant one on up here because they're going to have to trade back through this. Why do I say that? Because if we move out on an hourly, that's the level that they'd broken down from. Remember, this is the big pivot from last week, right? Which we've broken down from this morning. This is just a back test of that, which is why I would not want to be a new money long, right, up into these areas, which is why I'm telling you, take your profits. You do not want to be buying up here today, all right? This is your higher time frame breakdown zone. You want to be, if you're going to buy, you want to be buying and selling into there. I want to be, if I was going to be in new positions today, looking for sells on rejections to trade back into range, and I will respect that range. And then it's like, do we really want to come down here or not? But do not be a new money buyer up here. Not what you want to do. Alex, which is best on Apex? Tradeify, Rhythmic, or Wealth Charts? For me, it's Tradeify, but it's each their own. Any wins today? Yeah, we had big wins today, man. We took my big wins came from here and here. Apex allows DCA? Yeah, it does. It does now. It has done for like 2 years. No, I don't stream afternoons. If there's good trade setups, I will go into my Discord in the afternoons and trade it, but I don't think I'll do that today. I'll be present for them, but I don't think we get good trades till tomorrow. I think we were lucky that we had the trade that we did, and we probably just build liquidity out until 8 o'clock tonight, would be my anticipation. Where can you find my music? My old music was under a duo called Tough Love. It's now just one guy doing it. You can find it on anywhere, all the usual spots. Alex, why do long just crawl and crawl and crawl? What do you mean? Why is this a slow grind back up? Is that what you mean? It's more that it's just a dense area. It had a lot of volume to get through. All right, so once it reclaims here, so we're thin. If you look at this, we're thin under here, so that's a fast reclaim. Once we get back into here, there's a lot of traffic. Think about this as like a lot of traffic going through the city. There's so much traffic. You can't move fast through traffic, all right? We move slower. Once we get through the traffic, we can move a bit faster. And then there's a bit of traffic here. Does that make sense? It's a good way of putting it, I think. How to join Discord. You need to do the beginner to advanced course. It comes for free once you do that. It's just so that everyone in there has an understanding and can help each other out and trade the same way. Correct, Scotty. Yeah, the graph above me, Bookmap, it's ticks. The dots are aggressive buyers and sellers. They're market orders. They're delta. Twitter giveaway is still open. I think it's another day, isn't it? Is it the 9th it finishes on? Let me check. I think I said it was the 9th. 9th. Yeah, you've got till the 9th. You'll just have to scroll down a bit to find it. How much is the course? It's $699, one-time fee. And Gia, you're welcome. You're welcome, no worries. How do you recommend looking at ES versus NQ swing highs when one is higher than the other? You just need to understand who's got relative strength. What are you looking to trade and who's got relative strength, right? We had relative weakness this morning in NQ, so it's going to be an easier short to hit the target. ES has got relative strength right now. Right, ES is only down 0.69%, NQ's down 0.95%, so it's got relative strength. You're going to come right up for this. Right, so you're going to come and try and sweep this and test this block, all right? And I would expect some form of failure in here. If they don't find a failure in there, all my days, an upside squeeze is on. All my days, but here they go. Is it news or is it just a squeeze? News or just a squeeze? Into lunch. What a pump. World oil output. Here you go. So it's all oil news all hitting the deck here, folks. Just be aware of that. Big old squeeze on that. There's oil getting decimated on that. Yep. Oil's getting absolutely nuked on that move. What a move. Holy mother of pearl. Right back up. Geez, any of you along are laughing. You are laughing. Very thin, again, very thin, so likely reprices back down to here at some point. Very, very thin on that move up. That is a giant move. What a giant move. So I can't remember who just asked me about why was it so slow. Look what happened once we left the traffic and we get into thin areas. Right, much easier for the market to move quickly. You made 800 on that. Nice, man. Awesome. You're into that high volume node on ES. So I think you'll struggle up there around this kind of area. That ES is basically into this already, this big high volume node. Let's just run all the stops out. And everyone's just got taken out. And it probably pulls right back when they're done with it. VIX coming back down now as well. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. My expectation is that we would run these stops here. All right, and then I wouldn't be surprised to us come back down into this for the rest of the day. But if not, if they can hold above this grey box, which they can't do right now, but if they could hold above it, they have a chance of doing that. Like I said, you wouldn't want to be a new money long into this. Yes, they got the squeeze, but from a technical standpoint, it's a very bad entry. Your entries down here. Right, there's your big buy entry here, or an IB. Thin up can be thin down, remember. All right, that's lunch. I'm looking to get out of here, folks. And we go again tomorrow. Be careful into close today, all right? Be very, very careful into close today. You have headlines swirling around. Remember, people will be positioning, whether they're risk on or risk off, they will be positioning for that Trump announcement at 8 o'clock tonight. So be aware of that, especially for you traders who like to trade Globex. You will be very, very thin. Expect very, very wild moves. All right, do not oversize. Be very careful with your stops. They are likely to get run. If they get run, your fills will be terrible because it will be in Globex. So just be aware of that. All right, if you're going to put a tight stop on, thinking, oh, I'm going to risk you know, 5 ticks here, I wouldn't be surprised if you get filled 10 points lower on something like tonight. All right, so just be careful. Peace and love, everyone. Use hard stops, and we'll go again tomorrow morning. Hopefully we get some nice clean action for tomorrow. Take care.